Good morning, Softball America, and happy opening weekend to all of you. We are glad that you're here on Good Morning Softball America, presented by GoRout, the leaders in coach-to-player communication, built by coaches for coaches. GoRout Diamond ensures that every pitch and play call you send is delivered clearly all season long, hopefully like our episodes on this here show. Visit GoRout.com/softball to learn more and build your custom package today. We are thrilled that you're here. We've got a big show. Gray Robertson, Tara Henry. Tara, happy opening week to you. We have softball starting in like 48 hours from right now.
Happy opening week to you, Gray. Good afternoon. Good morning to some of you. And just can't wait to not only talk some softball, but have some pretty cool guests on the show. And I hope you guys are all as excited as we are because, like Gray said, Division I softball starts in less than 2 days. Yeah. 2 days.
I think the first game is 10 a.m. Central Time on Thursday.
Okay. So close.
Yeah. So
I
believe.
Already happened. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. We've got some great guests coming up a little bit later on in the show. We've got Nebraska's Hannah Coor joining us. She and her team will be participating in the UTSA Invitational. The invite went to ranked teams. So a lot of ranked foes will be facing off in San Antonio, including the Texas Longhorns. We will have Teagan Kavan on in seconds. But first, Tara, what does everyone need to do as they're checking into the chat and watching the show?
Well, first and foremost, let us know where you're tuning in from because Gray and I can't see it. And this is Brady's cracking me up there in the chat. Oh, man. Go ahead and like and subscribe. If you're over on YouTube, like this page. Make sure you make a ton of comments. And if you're over on X, give us a retweet. And let us know what you like on the site. There's tons of stuff up at the moment. One of my favorites, obviously, the composite rankings that Jason Ray does for us. So just really excited about all the preseason content. And if you are on X or if you're on YouTube, please make sure you like and subscribe.
Okay, we have beat around the bush as much as we can. It's now time to chat with one of the great pitchers in all the country, one of the aces in the SEC and in America. Her team won the national championship last year. She's currently phoning in from the place where Amanda Scarborough is watching the show. Hi, Amanda. Glad you're in the chat. We are pleased to welcome back to Good Morning Softball America, the great Teagan Kavan. Teagan, is so good to see you. Welcome back to the show and happy softball season.
Hello. Thanks for having me. Good to see you guys again.
Amazing. Well, Teagan, first and foremost, what does it feel like? It's actually game week this week. I know you guys have gone through a long fall and then had some practices. What emotions are you feeling right this second?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to go out and compete. It feels like it's been a while feels like it's gone fast, but it also feels like it's been a while since we've been out there. And so, yeah, I'm just excited to go compete with this really kind of new team we have now this year. I'm excited to see everyone put their talents on display.
What's been the vibe in the room, in the building with you and your teammates? I mean, last time we talked with you, you just won the national championship. Everybody was really happy. What have you seen since then as everyone's kind of gotten back to work and gotten ready for this new year?
Yeah, I think we're working really hard. Definitely know that it's not a given again this year. We have to just work just as hard, if not harder. Obviously, a national championship's our goal again, but it can't win it in a day, and it takes the whole season, and it's a lot of work. And so I think it's just taking it one step at a time, and we know that we just got to band together and get close together as a team first. And we've been working on that a lot, just being really tight knit again. We have like 10 or 11 newcomers. I can't remember at the top of my head, but so it is kind of new this year. And so we've been just kind of really getting to know each other, having a lot of fun with that.
And Teagan, I want to ask you about those newcomers because you've got a larger pitching staff, and including Sit Lolly still there, Cambria Salmon, Hannah Wells, Brindley. What has the vibe been like in the bullpen with your pitching staff? And then what's it been like with those 11 newcomers? Have you brought them along with you? What has that been like?
Yeah, it's fun. And the bullpen and all the pitching staff has a lot of fun together, and Coach PR really has a lot of fun with us too. And so it's always a good time. We are definitely in our own little world at times, but we love it there. And they all look so good, especially Brindley and Hannah. They've really come and adapted really well. And everyone's gotten better at something in the off season and has a new kind of tool asset that they're going to bring to the field this year. And so I'm really excited to see that happen, but we're all gelling together really well. And I think all of the newcomers like have adapted so well. I mean, I could list all of them, but I mean, I already said Hannah, but Sneed, Matea, and JC looks really good on the infield too. Literally, I could list all of them, but they've all really not acted like a freshman and have come in here and really challenged all of us too, which is really good to see.
I want to ask you about opening weekend because we talked about how this is the UTSA Invitational and they invited all the ranked teams. You've got so many marquee matchups. You've got a couple competitions with Washington and Nebraska. You'll play UTSA as well. But how exciting is it to start off this season with such a bang? I mean, you're going to be able to play in some of the most high-profile softball games of opening weekend just right off the bat.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I think that's how we all want to start it. It's fun. It's getting right into it, and it challenges us early, which is what we need to just get better throughout the season. And so every game's a new opportunity, and we're excited for these ones this weekend for sure.
And Teagan, after winning a national championship, the first national championship for the Texas Longhorns, what is that mentality like now after winning, being there, and then coming into this year? What's the mentality been like with the team?
Yeah, it's been good. I think personally, I think I've kind of realized now how much experience I do have and how much that can be beneficial to especially those newcomers. And so really just trying to get everyone on board with just like trusting each other and knowing that we're going to have each other's backs, and that no matter what happens throughout the season, that we always have each other, and that there's been a lot of us that have been there before and gone through the same things. And so, but we have so much knowledge. And so I think just sharing that with everyone and definitely brings a little bit more confidence, I think, for sure. Just knowing what we're capable of and what we can achieve and setting a goal and making it definitely gives us some confidence going into the season, I think.
How much does it help you in the fall, in early spring as you get ready for the season to face off in scrimmages against your own hitters? Because you look at the Texas lineup and it's stacked. You've got All-Americans all over the place. How much does that help you as a pitcher to face off against your teammates who know you, so you've got to change stuff up to beat them, but also who are good anyway, and you still have to deliver good pitches to get it by them?
No, it's huge. I think it's honestly the biggest benefit that us pitchers have here. I was talking to Brindley the other day. I mean, some days it's the pitcher's day, some days it's the hitter's days. Sometimes it's not good, sometimes it's great. But that's the benefit, that it makes us better every single day. And I would not like to pitch to our lineup in a game, in a real game. And so definitely helps us be better, helps our pitches get better, not just the physical side, but just the mental side too, just facing our lineup. And so it's definitely a huge advantage that we have facing our amazing hitters, because it's not easy for sure.
And Teagan, you talked about taking on more of a leadership role in the bullpen. I want to ask you, what has it been like to have Viv back at shortstop, Viviana Martinez? Obviously, you lost Mia Scott, who was holding it down at the hot corner, but to have her back in the infield, what has that been like for you?
It's awesome. She brings so much energy, and she's also just a really good friend of mine. And so it's cool to have her back on the field. But she does everything with such intention, no matter like what it is. Everything in her life, whether it's at school or it's in the weight room or it's like on the field, everything she does is like so intentful. And so it's such a good just like role model to have on the field for everyone. And so it's been really huge to have her back with us for sure.
I like that you use the word intention, and intentionality is so important, especially at this early part of the year. no team wants to peak in February. No team wants to play their best games on opening weekend. So what's the focus for you and your team here to start the year? What's something that you want to accomplish as kind of a stepping stone moving forward into the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think one, just like going out there and giving it all we have at that moment, knowing that it's not going to be easy and that this challenge is a big one to start, but that we're ready for it. I think just like building up that confidence throughout the season as we go, like knowing that we faced hard challenges early on in the season and had faced tough competition is only going to help us, especially as we go into the SEC. And so I just want us to, I guess, leave like this season and preseason just like knowing we're prepared no matter what the outcome is, just like knowing that it makes us better and that it's going to help us in June, hopefully, not just now.
And last one for me, Teagan. What does your pre-game or your game day routine look like? I know it's coming up here pretty soon. So is it the same every time? Are you changing it up this year? Or is it just kind of whatever happens, happens?
Yeah, it's relatively the same. I'm like not a fan of superstitions at all. Anytime I think I'm like getting into one, I like try to get out of it. But I do love to journal, and so I always incorporate some sort of journaling like the night before and then like day of. And I mean, I do it every day, but so that's always like a constant, especially on game days. But yeah, I just try to get my mind right in that. Try not to make the day or the game bigger than what it is. Just try to like be in the moment and just be grateful for the opportunity that's in front of me. But I would say definitely centers around journaling and then just like having fun with my teammates and not trying to be too serious about what's to come and just be in the moment and enjoy where I'm at.
Last thing, and then we'll let you go. I've interviewed the man a few times now on Out of the Box, so I feel like I've picked up on his vibe a bit. But what is one thing that the world does not know about Mike White that they should know?
Oh, let's see. Okay, I don't know. I have a couple. People probably already know this, obviously, because he was so great, but he's literally the most competitive person I know. Like it would be like pure comedy to come watch him throw a practice to us, and just see how he gets like in game mode and how competitive he gets. But he loves all animals and like his dogs are like his favorite things. And so he's a big animal person. And so I would say that. Maybe people don't know that.
I like it. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Me neither. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We got to get pictures of these dogs.
I know. Yeah. They're so cute. We always love to, when we have things at his house, go visit them.
You know who's really happy with that answer? Amanda Scarborough, who's in the chat and is obsessed with dogs. Yes. So, Amanda, I'm sure she will be on the case getting the puppy pics. Teagan Kavan, thank you for joining us on Good Morning Softball America. Happy softball season. Best of luck on opening weekend, and I'm sure we'll be talking with you down the road. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys.
That is the All-American Teagan Kavan dropping a little pet tea on Mike White. I was wondering if mention would be made of Mike White's love of Game of Thrones.
Oh, I did not know that.
He did say that on Out of the Box. And I almost did like the what when she said he's super competitive. Because that makes sense.
Well, no, I figured that one. But the dogs, I mean, who doesn't love dogs? Well,
I love dogs.
I do too.
Why'd you make that face at me?
There's one right here.
Yeah, there's a dog literally nipping at Tara's heels. Teagan and Grace just popped off. Many thanks to Grace, the SID at Texas, for helping out with that. Grace, who's back in softball. Welcome back, Grace, after being the softball SID at Arkansas for a few years. And many thanks to Teagan as well. We're going to talk a little bit more about this event in San Antonio later on in the show. And Hannah Coor from Nebraska, whose team will also be there, will join us in just a moment. But before we flash some comments and say hello to some folks, I love that this event exists. I love that UTSA is kind of saying like, yeah, we're going to play each of you, but really like this is an event so all of you can get some big games too. And it's a great chance for UTSA to get some experience and to take on some big time teams. Like this is just stellar opening weekend slate at a place, not at a neutral site, not at some big tournament. It's just a fun weekend with a lot of really good softball teams.
Yeah, sorry. I was on mute there because I was doing some typing. But yes, no, I think for the start of the season, we're going to go through the big games to watch. Uh, what an incredible matchup right away. And for Texas to get out there, and we'll talk to Hannah Coor about Nebraska. I really love how calm Teagan is. And even in her demeanor, even in her interview, I'm really excited to see how she continues to step up. And I talked to Coach PR, and I know she's taking more of a leadership role. And just to have her on here, she's so eloquent. She's so soft spoken. But then when she gets into the circle, she's going to lead those Longhorns yet again. And again, I think this is for Texas a good barometer to start the season, not only for Texas, but for Nebraska, for Washington. And like you said, a really nice tournament just to start it off. It's like, oh, here we go. Here we go. And I know we've got another tournament that has some pretty good teams, but that will be one that hopefully you all have circled and are able to check out.
And I believe most of it, if not all of it, is watchable on ESPN Plus.
I believe so. We can double and triple check. Brady can double and triple check that. I think he's on here.
Let me pull up the ESPN TV symposium that was sent out. How about this as we get into it? And yes, all those matchups will be on ESPN Plus, so that's really, really good. I mean, don't you love 3,200 regular season games across the ESPN family of networks? Fantastic.
Incredible. It's incredible. I remember the days when it was only maybe super regionals or regionals that were on television, and maybe one kind of big time matchup throughout the season. So just ESPN continues to invest and show the sport. And I truly believe, somebody said this on X the other day, it's one of the fastest growing sports, and there's just a ton of momentum behind it. And I was just in Mexico, in Monterrey, Mexico, at the Pro League down there. Huge momentum down there, huge momentum here in the States with the AUSL. And again, what a great time to be in the sport of softball and see how much it's grown. And again, that has to do a lot with us being able to watch it.
That's right.
Which is great.
All right. I want to ask about your trip, by the way. But first, let's put up some comments, say hello to some folks. Trelinda Kerr says, Boomer Sooner ready for softball. Fang has entered the chat. Look at Gray survived editing the Out of the Box season premiere. Yes, indeed. Tara, what time did I send you the rundown for this podcast?
I don't know. I mean, Gray is a machine. Oh, 4:19.
That was about
Eastern.
the time.
Eastern. So that's 3:14 Central.
Yeah, that was about when we were done. Xavier, pickleball pal, up in here. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Excited to start watching softball this week. My burner, Grant Gray, says good afternoon. As we referenced, Amanda is in the chat. We've got Brady using the Softball America account as well.
He confused me at the top of the show. I was like, did somebody hack our account? That's why I stopped it for a second.
Somebody tried to hack my Twitter yesterday, and I had to shut it down. Just saying. Fang.
Texted Brady. I was like, Brady, are you on our account?
Fang wants to congratulate you, Tara, for getting 6 out of 8 World Series picks right last year, beating all the other national writers, including myself.
What? No way. Oh, Fang, thank you for that. Well, you just made my day.
So Tara got preseason. I got bracketology.
Oh.
Is this the show? And Brady does everything else? Like, this is pretty good.
Oh,
we've got
thanks, Fang.
Desert Stro watching from Waller, Texas. Jeremy Scott is in the chat. He says, roll Tide. We've got a viewer in Fort Mill, South Carolina. Charles, Kavan was nails in the World Series, 100%. Agree with Fang, one of the better runs that you'll see in the World Series. And even more, now we're talking about me not liking dogs, which is not true. I have a dog, so I don't know where this came from. But it's now time before Hannah Coor joins us in a few moments.
Gray does love dogs. I know he loves dogs. I got photos of Gray with dogs. And I've got a dog here, but he's asleep, so.
It was briefly going to be my credential at the World Series, a picture of me holding a puppy.
It was. It is true.
The NCAA denied it. Does the NCAA hate dogs?
Maybe. I don't know. We're gonna find out, I guess. It would be great if we could have a dog day at the World Series.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Bark in the Park. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would
All right.
drive and I would bring Miles.
I'm going to bring back.
Parents bring Red from the West Coast.
Oh, please. I miss Red.
I know.
Sweet
He's a
Red.
Southern gentleman.
All right. We're going to bring back an old segment. It's time for Where in the World is Tara Henry? Because the queen of international travel has yet again journeyed away from America to watch softball and do softball things. Tara, where in the world were you this past weekend?
Oh my goodness, such a great question. I was down in Monterrey, Mexico, and able to watch the Sultanas take on the Bravas and experience pro softball in Mexico. It's really incredible how the pro league in Mexico has been able to partner with baseball teams, and they play in the same stadium. Yes, it's annoying that there's a mound on the field, the pitching mound for baseball, but to be honest, it doesn't really, I don't know, I don't think it really bothers the players. There were 5,200 fans on a regular season game on a Friday night in Monterrey, Mexico. It was, we had Peyton Gottschall throwing in the circle, Sam Schau, Bailey Klingler, Suka Van Goop from the Netherlands, and then Rachel Garcia was throwing for the Bravas. And let me tell you all, she didn't throw a strike. And when I say throw a strike, in the zone for the first two innings, and ends the game with 16 strikeouts. And I said, oh, they're in trouble. We just swinging out of the zone. She doesn't even have to throw a strike. Ball's going up, rise ball out the zone. She's throwing the soft away. She's so elite. So she has 16 Ks the first day on Thursday, and then go ahead on Friday. She hits 2 home runs. And yes, the softball was great, but I hope, and I want to do this next year, and maybe some of you guys will want to go. I really want to take a trip to Mexico, like a Softball America group trip, and go to watch a professional game there, because it is an experience. There's a live band that plays for 2 hours after the game.
What?
And oh, great. I'm telling you, it is incredible. There are the live band, the in-game entertainment, the Jumbotron, they have dancing, they have it's just the marketing quality, the promotional quality. It is top notch. And I toured their facilities. They've got full training room, they've got a weight room in the stadium, a nutritionist, doctors, 2 ice baths. I'm telling you guys, I had the best time. And then I walked around the streets on my own and just kind of checked out, the local culture. And gosh, I couldn't be more proud of our sport and where we're at and where we're going. And I hope we just continue to support not only softball here in the States, but softball all over the world.
That's incredible. What was the food like?
Delicious. They ate so late, Gray, and I eat at like 6:00. We had dinner at 11:30 after the game.
That's when you're supposed to have been in bed for hours at that point.
There are these tacos, volcano tacos. It's basically like a tostada, but with carne, like meat on top. It's not even carne asada. It's like chunks of beef, and on a tostada with lime. So you obviously spread the lime. Then you add some soup before the meal. I can't remember the name of it. And cream and corn, elote, I believe it is. You would love it there, Gray. I know for a fact that you would love it there. So food was great. People were even better. Just so welcoming, so open, and it is truly a community and culture that really embraces sport and really embraces the women that are playing softball there. 5,200 people, Gray, when I was there for opening day, or the day after opening day, so on that Friday night, it was 10,000 people for a pro softball game. It's just incredible. So if anybody wants to know more about my trip, there's a little write-up on the website, so you can go over to on3.com/softball, and then you can always, send me a message or ask questions, because I love the support of softball, and I love international softball.
Let me ask a separate question about this, and Hannah Coor from Nebraska will be joining us in just a moment. Why is it important for some of those players that you talked about who are in their quote-unquote off seasons to play in games in a league like this? Why is that something that they should be doing during this time when they, again, quote-unquote, are off from AUSL and all other American pro softball obligations?
I think there's a couple of, I think the answer is twofold, to be honest with you. I think number one, obviously, to keep training, to get in reps, to make sure that you're out playing and not taking a long off season. Alana Snow, who plays for us on Great Britain, she's there playing for the Sultanas. So it's great for her to get live at bats, to be in game mode. And then I think the other part of that, Gray, really is just growing the game and having elite level players, elite pitching in the league, to not only for them to practice, but to then raise the level in Mexico of softball. And so players can see, because if you can't see where you need to be, it's really hard to get there. And I think when you're able to see, Rachel Garcia, Carly Hoover, I mean, Jasmine Jackson I think she's leading the league in home runs at this point, former Cal Bear there, and she's played over in Europe as well. Just to see that level, to see how they train, to see how they move, to see how professional they are in their at bats, in the way they warm up, and the way they go about their business. I think it's really important to not only be able to do that in Mexico, in the States, but again, you know how I feel about growing the game globally. I think it's a recipe that can be replicated throughout the world. So, two reasons, I think, most importantly, for athletes to be there, to get their work in, and then to grow the game.
And then a third reason, the food, as we talked about. But Tara, I'll say this. If you want good Tex-Mex, there's no city that's better than San Antonio. And we've already talked about, that city that is hosting a wonderful event this weekend, the UTSA Invitational. UTSA bringing in all these ranked teams. And one of those teams was Texas. We talked to Teagan Kavan a little earlier. Another one is Nebraska. And now it is time to chat with one of the newest Cornhuskers, a former Oklahoma Sooner. That might be how y'all know her. I know her as former center fielder of the River Mocs in the FGCL. It is Nebraska's Hannah Coor. Hannah, welcome into Good Morning Softball America. Good to see you.
Hi, good to see y'all too.
Oh my goodness, Hannah, good morning or good afternoon. I think you're probably afternoon as well with us. Want to ask you, it is game week, and it's so exciting that softball's actually going to start here this week. What does training look like for you this week? When do you travel? Where are you guys at right now in terms of getting ready to go?
Yeah, we're just putting our last little bow ties and things on our game. We've been working really hard the past few months. We leave tomorrow afternoon. We're heading that way. I'm super excited. I think we're all very excited to start playing some other teams and hitting off some other pitchers than our own. So very excited.
Yeah, I'm sure you're like anyone but Jordy. Like, we want to see any other pitchers.
Yeah.
That would be great. I want to ask about your career because, like, I joked about it, but I've seen you when you were younger playing in the FGCL. You've redshirted. You've been through injuries. You've kind of been through it all. Now you're at another place where you're getting familiarized with a new team, new coaching staff, new location. How would you describe this journey that you've been on and how rewarding it's been to now get to this point where you're near the tail end of your career and you're a part of a top 10 preseason team that's got a lot of hype around it this year?
Gosh, my career. I feel like I've gone through every single thing that you could possibly go through that you can as a college athlete, between injury, redshirting, transferring, all the things. But I am so thankful for all of it. I don't think I would change a single thing about my journey. And some people might think I'm crazy for that. But I truly believe that everything I went through led me to my perfect moment and my perfect ending here at Nebraska. And I'm very thankful for my time at Oklahoma. I gave everything for my 4 years. I learned a lot, met a lot of great people, but it was my time to go. And for my last year, I just asked myself what I want out of it. And I really just wanted to find joy again in the game that I love. And I've done that. And I've
I love Nebraska, and just representing the N and being not being from Nebraska, but being around people that are from Nebraska, the way they represent and how proud they are to wear Nebraska across their chest, like it's kind of gives me goosebumps even thinking about it because they carry so much pride with it. And even the girls that aren't from Nebraska, like we play for Nebraska and like you just love Nebraska and like it's just awesome. I love it.
I love that you love Nebraska, and I want to ask you what you love so much about Nebraska. I know obviously you're newer there. It's you're still getting you were still getting used to your surroundings. What's your favorite place to eat? What's your favorite place to like not do softball things and knowing that you're in Nebraska and you've got all these people surrounding you? What is your favorite experiences that you've had this far?
I think the best thing about coming to Nebraska was reuniting with Jordy. She's one of my best friends. Being back on the field with her is it's just different. Like she is a competitor at heart. She's one of the best competitors I have ever seen. I think the game has ever seen. And playing behind her and with her just brings out a different competitor inside of me. And like I knew it was always there, but playing with her just brings it all back. And like it's just a full circle moment. And I don't think it could have been written any better than what it is right now. And she is one of my best friends. Like I was in her wedding and she'll probably be in mine one day, Lord willing. And just the relationships I built just being here and like the coaches. I love Coach Ravel and I love Coach Miller and Sip and all of the staff. It's just so different. I just love every second of being here. And yeah, it's just awesome.
Yeah, you mentioned Rhonda Revelle. I mean, look, you've played for two of like the legends of the sport in Patty Gasso and now Rhonda Revelle. What have you learned from Coach Revelle since arriving on campus, and what really has impressed you as a player, kind of soaking her in for the first time and really learning from her this year?
I think the biggest thing I've learned from Coach Revelle is just she told me that I would have a place to heal, and she was exactly right. And I needed that. I was a little broken when I got here, but she gave me the space to really feel all the things I was feeling, and she told me that it was okay to feel those things. And she has been more of like a life coach than a softball coach for me, I would say. So just having that space and time with her and her fully understanding like every little thing that goes in my head and like still loving me for it and teaching me and showing me the way to grow through all of that is probably the biggest blessing that I've learned from her.
That's incredible. And for you, Hannah, I know you've got a ton of experience. What are you bringing to this Nebraska team, knowing what you've been through, where you've been, and you know what it takes to really be on the final stage? What are you bringing to this team?
I think just fight. I feel like I have a lot of fight left in me, and a lot of us are playing with the last in our mind, and we try not to think about it too much, but we do have 12 seniors, so it's a very seasoned team. So I feel like we're all bringing the same fight, and like we want to end the way we want to end. And I think that's been a big thing for me is when I'm hanging up my cleats and I'm done with this game, like I want to look at myself in the mirror and be proud of every little thing that I've done to get here. And I get kind of emotional like even thinking about it because like I've been playing this game for so long, but I think I'm just playing with all of the things that I've gone through and not trying to prove anyone wrong, but more of proving myself right and just finding purpose in everything that I've been through. So I feel like I've brought that to this team, and I think I'm just a fighter, and I want to fight with these girls and in this uniform and fight till the lights turn off.
Well, before we get to the end, we have to get to the beginning. And we start with the UTSA Invitational for you, your teammates. You've got Texas coming into town. Washington will be there as well. UTSA has put together a fantastic field for this opening weekend event. How excited are you to get to kick off the season in such style? I mean, these are, on TV, they're on digital. They're high-profile matchups to start the season. It's got to be a thrill.
Oh, I'm so excited. Me and Jordy, can't stop talking about it. Like, we were hanging out the other day, and I was just like, dude, I just want to play already. Like, I'm kind of over practice. I just want to play. Just let me play already. But I'm super excited for this preseason. I feel like we have a lot of good battles, and we're going to be very battle-tested heading into conference. So I'm very excited just to play and with the high caliber teams that we are playing, I think it's a great test to see where we're at and what we need to work on.
Incredible. Well, last one for me. I know there's a lot of young players out there that are probably watching this and look up to you. If you could look back and let's say you're in 14U right now, what advice would you give your 14U self going through everything that you've been through?
Soak it all in. If I could go back and do it again, I would do it in an instant. And I think I'd do it so differently just to soak in everything. Because those are the last times you're really going to play with your travel ball teammates, and those are your friends for life. Like, I still talk to all my buddies, but just soaking it all in, not letting any moment get too big, not getting too focused on recruiting. It's all going to happen the way God is intending it to happen, and just trusting his plan. But yeah, just making it fun, because softball's supposed to be fun. It's a fun sport, so just keeping it light and fun.
All right, we'll let you go after this. What's on the pregame playlist? Like, what do you like to listen to before a game starts to get you in the right mindset?
I listen to gospel music a lot, and it just like eases my soul, and I'm ready to battle. But yeah, I would say anything by Brandon Lake is my go-to, or Sons of Sunday. That's my walk-up song. Yeah.
Does it change? Does it stay the same? Or like if there's a loss, you like, well, this song's in now, or how does that work?
See, I'm not very superstitious, so it's whatever is just, I can hit shuffle and I'll be fine. I don't need a certain song. I just, whatever comes on, I'll probably just get hype.
Sounds
I love
good
it
to me.
All right, one last thing, and then we'll let you go. What like good food is on the itinerary for Nebraska on this trip to San Antonio? Because as I mentioned, bringing you in, like you can go to the Riverwalk. There are all these great Tex-Mex places in San Antonio where you can load up on chips and queso.
I think that's what we're doing. We're going on the Riverwalk one of the nights for dinner. So, and we're told not to wear anything athletic, so we're wearing jeans and a sweater. Haven't worn jeans and a sweater in a long time, so we're doing that. So we're probably going to be eating some good food. Probably some Tex-Mex, hopefully.
Good call.
I miss some Tex-Mex.
Oh, well, Hannah, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck this season. We're so excited for you to get back on the field. Enjoy every moment, and thank you so much for joining us on Good Morning Softball America.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Hannah. Good to see you.
See y'all later. Bye.
Hannah Coor from Nebraska on Good Morning Softball America. I love her. She's great. And again, not to keep belaboring the summer league point, but what I love about that job is, especially in the early days, you got to see a lot of kids who maybe had a redshirt or had an injury or, are from the big schools, but maybe didn't get a ton of time early on in their career. And you get to see what's there. And, a player like Riley Boone, like that was someone that we identified pretty quickly. Michaela Edenfield, after she redshirted, we were like, oh, look at this. Hannah Coor is another one of those players, and she's dealt with so much. I remember a couple years ago watching her non-contact injury at second base while base running opening weekend. I think it was last year actually. And, having to deal with that. She's dealt with the back issues, but it seems like she's in a great place physically, mentally, and, what a time for her to bring it all together with this Nebraska team, a team that a lot of people are really, really excited about.
Yeah, I agree with you, Gray. And she talked about it, and very veteran led, very senior heavy. So it is a team that has experience, and you can tell they're hungry. And I loved her answer about playing behind Jordy Ball. I can't even imagine playing behind a Jordy Ball, like how much energy she puts into every single pitch and how she plays the game. I'm excited to watch this team, and we're going to get a real good look at the Huskers on week 1, because it's a 2-game, I believe, with Washington and Texas.
Yep.
2 with both. Woo.
Yeah. Shall we go to 3 big things?
Sure. Oh my gosh, we're going back to like our regularly scheduled programming.
I know it's a regular season. Pod. Hey, and we'll talk about like scheduling a little bit later. And this week we're on a Tuesday because your boy decided to get a little ill, and we had to just take some precautions. You can probably hear my voice still a little gravelly, but
Yeah, to the people, we're going back to our Mondays.
Yes.
We're
And
going
then we'll
back-
have Q&A
Go ahead.
episodes later on in the week.
Yes, we're trying to go Monday and Thursday, right?
Yes.
Or Monday and Wednesday.
Depending. I think the
Okay.
Q&A can be a little.
Okay. But we are going back to Mondays. So set your alarms. Monday at 12 Eastern. Is that what we decided?
Yeah, works for me.
Okay. Hopefully that works for you all, because we need you guys to be here too.
It's true. All right, 3 big things. The first big thing is the NFCA Leadoff Classic. We have not talked about this event yet, but Tara, each day there are at least 2 games where you're like, wow, okay, I'm really interested in that, and it might tell the story of a season.
Yeah. Well, it starts the whole thing off, and I know Gray's got this here on our rundown, but BYU versus Tennessee. And again, we talked about BYU's schedule. It is a gauntlet, and they're starting out with Tennessee here, and then Southeastern and Clemson on Thursday. But I know this is a tournament that continues to grow, and I tried to get Carol Bruggeman on here. She was going to jump on the show with us to talk a little bit about the NFCA, but the entire staff of the NFCA is on a plane right now. So we couldn't get anybody on here, but they're excited about this, and we'll be able to watch it on MLB Network as well as Game Changer. So games that we'll be able to watch.
Yeah, our girl Sydney Supley is on the call,
Yes.
I believe.
Yes, I believe so. We have to get her games and put them up for you all.
Yeah. Love you, Sid. We miss you. You're the best. I real quick, this isn't on the rundown, but because it happened like an hour ago, but I did want to bring this up because a press release came out about the non-coaching staff members providing tactical and technical instruction rule being approved for this year, a temporary waiver in baseball and softball. So now all the things all teams are doing, it's now legal this year. So good job. All the staff members are allowed to coach and teach.
I didn't see that. I didn't, obviously I haven't opened my email.
It like just happened right before we came on.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, I will say that the NFCA Leadoff Classic thing that really strikes me is Saturday, Oregon, Tennessee. Like I love that this is happening immediately. For those who have forgotten that we released a preseason top 25, we did. And I would say the biggest debate was probably 4 and 5. Like I think it broke down to an exact tie between Oregon and Tennessee. So my guess is there probably won't be a tie after week 1, because these 2 teams will face off and we'll get to learn a little bit more about those squads. Yes, they've got other big games that weekend, but that's like the big marquee top 5 matchup on Saturday down in Clearwater.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. When Oregon plays Liberty earlier that day as well. So it's going to be a tough day, doubleheader for the Ducks. And the thing with these tournaments, Gray, is it's difficult because you have to prepare for 5 different teams, because normally you're playing 5 games. And then you have to prepare for 5 different pitchers, but probably more than that, because you're going to see potentially 2 or 3 pitchers per team. So it's tough. It's tough to prepare and know it's a little bit of a chess match, and you want to get these big wins early, these ranked wins early. So big test for Oregon, and they play Missouri and Clemson on Friday. So again, a pretty tough slate for the Oregon Ducks down at the NFCA Leadoff Classic.
Also, you mentioned Missouri.
Mm.
This was a Missouri team that missed the NCAA tournament last year. I think they were a tournament quality team that did not have a tournament quality record. And one of the biggest issues that they ran into was not only not, performing as well as they wanted to in the SEC, but also a brutal non-conference schedule. Well, the Tigers are jumping off the deep end here on opening weekend down in Clearwater. You've got Penn State on Friday along with Oregon. Saturday, Liberty and BYU. Sunday, South Alabama. So a real opportunity, but also potentially dangerous start to the season for Missouri. We'll see how they respond to that very tough slate to open up the year.
Yeah, and you said it, Gray. I think you hit the nail on the head there. That was a good quality team. Just some years you've got to be able to understand when you get into the SEC, it's just tough. And week in, week out, you don't know what's going to happen. So making that balance, or figuring out that balance of playing tough enough competition to get ready for the SEC, but not playing too tough to where a year ago you're not making the tournament. So I'm excited to see what the Missouri Tigers look like heading into this season because I don't really know what we're going to get.
We will also get to see, last thing for me on NFCA leadoff, the return of Bridget Nemeth. After she was gone last year with injury, after we were like, is she gonna play? Is she not gonna play? She turned out to not. Now she's back. We know what Penn State can be when she's healthy and ready to go. I'm sure that she's been rehabbing and really like fiending to get back on the field because that's what every competitor feels whenever they have to miss time. And Penn State's got some big games here to kick off the year. So a great chance to see what the Nittany Lions look like with their ace back in the circle.
Yeah. So, and they'll play Auburn on Sunday. So for me, another team that Auburn plays Penn State on Sunday, and they'll play Clemson, which we didn't even get into Clemson. We haven't talked about Clemson yet. Clemson's down there as well. What a tournament. Maybe I should get in my car and drive down there after I watch Bama, Georgia Tech.
I was about to say no, because you're coming to hang out with me.
I don't know. This is a pretty good slate of games down there. I don't know, you guys. You never know. I might just jump in my car. Don't roll your eyes at me, Gray. I might just jump in my car and head on down to Clearwater. I'm going to be there next week. I might as well just go down there, maybe stay down there.
Okay, so we get you Thursday and then go.
Yeah.
I have to see you.
Yeah, Thursday. I was thinking Thursday, Friday, and then I go down there Saturday and Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. Who
Oregon,
knows?
Tennessee.
Whew,
Auburn, Clemson.
I feel like that would be that Saturday slate: Oregon, Liberty, Auburn, Clemson, Oregon, Tennessee.
That's good.
It's all right. We'll be able to watch it on the television.
That's true.
Yeah, we're good.
Have a good show, Sydney, and other broadcasters on MLB Network. I'm not sure who else is calling it, but we do know Sydney's there. Sydney, have a good show. Okay, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but the UTSA Invitational is this weekend in San Antonio. It's like round robin for everybody, and then UTSA is like, all right, we're going to play each of you once, and then just sit back and let you eat each other alive. Obviously, Texas, Nebraska jumps off the page because of the potential Jordy Fromm and Teagan Kavan, matchup that we might get in the circle.
Oh, and that's something that obviously we had Teagan and Hannah Coor on the show earlier. That matchup, just week 1, top 10 matchup, so exciting. And I think if we do see a Jordy versus Teagan Kavan, it's going to be epic. But I will say this. I talked about Texas, and we asked Teagan what it's been like, and she's been leading that bullpen. I think Texas is going to use their arms more this season and really pitch by committee. We'll see if that comes to fruition, but there are plenty pitchers for them to go to along with a transfer and a freshman. And I know Mike White was speaking pretty highly of Hannah Wells, the freshman, and there's just a big freshman class there. So for me, I'm just excited to see the youth of Texas taking on a veteran-led squad in Nebraska. And we never even talked about Kaya Altmaier on Texas. So to see her in a Texas uniform as well, but another great slate at the UTSA Invitational.
Yeah, and don't forget about Washington being here as well. Alexis DeBoer, Big Ten Freshman of the Year last year. Can she keep it up? I think things are a little bit more solidified around her in the lineup, which will be helpful. And if Washington wants to make a statement, you pick off one of these games or a couple of these games against Texas and Nebraska, and all of a sudden we're talking about the Huskies a little bit more than we are right now.
Yeah, and I saw a post on X with Coach Heather Tarr after Indiana won the national championship and talking about not having, a single 5-star on the roster. And Coach Tarr just was like fired up about it. So I think there's a little bit of that with that staff. And Morgan Reimer pitches for Team Canada. And I think there's a little bit of grittiness there and wanting to prove something. So I wouldn't be surprised if Washington comes out hot here at the UTSA Invitational.
And last thing, much to the delight of the people in the comments, we are going to talk about Oklahoma. I know it's crazy. We haven't spoken about the Sooners yet on this show. We haven't spoken about Texas Tech yet on this show. But these two teams get off to a bang. Like, I am so hyped for this weekend. Oklahoma starts at Arizona State on Thursday, and then because of a little tournament reshuffling, it is now a 3-game series at Arizona, Friday through Sunday for the Sooners. This is such an opportunity to make a statement early in the year, and we get to see what this pitching staff looks like and how Patty Gasso wants to negotiate things against some pretty good competition to start the year.
Yeah, and speaking of Oklahoma, JT was potentially going to join us today, so hopefully we can get. We can get JT Gasso on the podcast. Maybe next week, maybe sometimes.
Fang is killing me in the chat.
maybe we can get him on maybe for a special this week heading into season. But I know we're going to have him jump on the show here. But I hopefully you watched it. I was able to watch it on the plane. The big 12 preview show with Kat and Rachel Becker. Like brain. And listening to head coach Caitlin Lowe talk about challenging them early, and really this team feels like they've got a really good vibe around it. And that offense was incredible a season ago, led by Amber Friedman. And I think we're going to see that yet again in year 2 with her there. So an Arizona Wildcats team that I don't think anybody should sleep on, but for the Sooners, what an opening slate at Arizona State. And John Bartfelt is there now with the Sun Devils, who just was with Team USA and Coach Gasso down in Australia. So that'll be a fun little chess match there. And then, like you said, Gray, a 3-game slate against the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, and I love Oklahoma getting challenged on the road in a really good environment. That was something Coach Gasso talked about last year in April when Oklahoma came to Alabama. One thing she said after that series was, I'm not sure they were ready for that environment. Well, now you're throwing them in the fire immediately here on opening weekend at Arizona State, which always gets rowdy.
Yes.
And at Hillenbrand.
Farrington.
Yeah, yep. Which is always loud and very fun. It's a great place to play opening weekend. So, yeah, I love this challenge for the Sooners. And if they pass with flying colors, as I said on the Out of the Box podcast, everybody else has a problem, because this is a great way to find out very early on what the Sooners might be as the season gets going.
Absolutely. And anybody that's been to Farrington or been to Hillenbrand knows that those are 2 stadiums where it does get rowdy as well. Hillenbrand, it can get rowdy there. I believe me, I've experienced it. Those fans can get a little bit crazy. So I like that you just said that, Gray, that they're getting challenged early week 1, because we've seen a little bit of a cupcake schedule for some years for the Sooners. I don't think that was by design. I think it's hard to get people to play them. So now I think it's great that teams are challenging themselves early by playing OU, and we're going to see what that offense looks like, which has pretty much everybody back. And for me, the biggest question mark is what we're going to see in the circle with Sam Landry gone. And is Sid Berzon going to step up? Is Wachenio going to step up? What is that going to look like for the Sooners? So we'll get to see that here pretty quickly against some tough competition.
And I'm looking to confirm. I should have had the TV times on here. I believe this is also ESPN Plus. Maybe not. I can't find it.
You mean for Arizona games?
Yeah.
Well, we'll get it to you guys. No worries.
This is great podcasting. I apologize.
Well, we're gonna have
Arizona State is ESPN Plus, and I'll find Vamp for like 20 seconds. I'll find it.
Don't worry, Gray. The lineup is going to be up on the site very, very soon. If it's not already up, the lineup will be up, so you'll know what's going on, our top games to watch, and where to watch those games, so that we get you sorted on the best games of the weekend.
Yes, Fang says, and I'm confirming on the Arizona website as well, ESPN Plus. So you can watch all 4 of those games for the Sooners here on opening weekend. I also referenced Texas Tech. We know that they're playing McNeese on Thursday. We know, per Jerry Glasgow, that Nyjah is starting. So congratulations to everyone filling out their lineup card. We know who's pitching a couple days in advance. And then the big one here is Saturday at Texas A&M. This is the big marquee opportunity for Texas Tech on opening weekend to make a statement on the road against an Aggie team that is, I think excited for the year. Coach Ford seems like she's really pumped about the squad, but they've also got to, answer some questions after the way 2025 ended.
Yeah, I agree with you, Gray. And I think that's the only SEC team that Texas Tech is playing all year long. Is that right? So right out the weekend, that's the only team that the Red Raiders will be playing in the SEC, and it's the Aggies again. I'm so excited just even talking about these three big things on our slate. These are just scratching the surface of what we're going to see opening weekend, and that Texas A&M game again, for us to get an idea of how that Texas A&M team responds to last year, and then how Texas Tech is going to be with a pretty much a very brand new roster with an influx of transfers. So it's going to be a huge test week one.
And you want to talk about rowdy crowds?
I love it. Oh my gosh, I know. I wonder if
the
Amanda's going to be there.
Folks at Davis Diamond get it sometimes.
Oh, man, another one. I wish we could be everywhere.
Amanda, if you're still here, drop in the chat. Are you going to be at this game?
Yeah.
My guess is yes.
She should be. She's got to be. She's going to probably go there. I don't know why she wouldn't. Yeah. She'll let us know.
Yeah. As we wait for her answer, what's on the site, Tara? What is on Softball America that people need to be reading and checking out?
Well, first and foremost, go to on3.com/softball. There's anything and everything that you need to know. We just put up bracketology, a little fun bracketology that Brady put up. Our composite rankings, which Jason Ray does, and then our preseason roundtable. That one was fun. So everybody's taking a shot at who they believe is going to make it to the Women's College World Series, All-American players. Everything is up there. So go ahead and take a look at that preseason roundtable. We've got our mid-major previews. We got previews for major conferences and then the mid-majors. And then obviously we talked a little bit about my trip down to Mexico. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and take a look at what we've got on the site and let us know what else you want.
Yeah, check out the roundtable.
Yeah, Amanda is going.
Of course she is. Because she knows ball and loves ball.
Oh, and Brady's question Q&A is in the lobby. So if you're not a member yet, you should be, first and foremost. And you should head on over to the discussion board. And there's loads of insight up on there. We're going to be a lot more active there on the discussion board. So make sure you're signed up. And we're also going to be, I believe, throwing a party in Clearwater. This is breaking news.
What?
Yes.
The year I'm not there?
Yeah. And I think, I'm pretty sure we're going to have a junior reporter. So we're going to start implementing a junior reporter program where we're going to have young athletes be trained to be a journalist and do interviews so they can interview their favorite players at major tournaments. So keep an eye out. Ooh, I'm excited about that. Keep an eye out for that at Clearwater.
I love that. Amanda cameo in the booth, maybe. Why not? Also, Brian asking about bracketology in February. Yes, Joe Lenardi posts his next year bracketology like a day after the Final Four comes to a close. So I think Brady posting his preseason bracketology isn't crazy at all. And you can also kind of gauge a little bit where teams are going to fit bucket-wise, just purely based on who's on the schedule, let alone what the results are. Like, you can kind of identify more or less how the metrics are going to value teams unless there are some real surprises. Also, I think it's very important that Brady does this job because we are looking at a new formatting, new bit of formatting for the NCAA tournament with the buckets. So the more that people can get familiarized with how that's going to work, the more they'll be able to understand later on what the process is for the committee.
Absolutely. And it's really fun to look at. So if you guys haven't gone over to the website, you should go and take a look at the bracketology. Well, who doesn't want to talk about postseason before opening day?
Who among us is not already screenshotting the bracket, putting it in work group chats and saying, dang, that'd be a long flight? Yes. Who else isn't doing that?
If you're not, you should.
Many thanks to Hannah Coor and Teagan Kavan for joining us on Good Morning Softball America. A reminder, again, I will be healthy. So, regularly scheduled programming next week. We are at what time on Monday, Tara?
12 Eastern.
11 Central.
Eastern. 11 Central.
And then a Q&A episode.
9 Pacific, because my mom, I know that she just called me. She gets her time zones mixed up. 9 Pacific. Mary, Henry.
Hey, Mary. Mama Henry, what's up? And then we'll do a Q&A episode probably Wednesday next week.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll really dig into like top 25 Q&A and just overall general opening weekend questions. If you have an overreaction you want us to react to, sure. If you want us to overreact, I love that too. I'm happy to, put on the boisterous personality if need be once my voice is back to 100%. So many thanks to everybody in the chat for joining us. Tara, any last words before we go?
No, happy softball. And I can't wait for us to get started. And again, we can keep this conversation going over on the discussion board. We'll be on there most of the weekend and making sure that anything we see at the games or anything that we're watching, we put on that discussion board. So if you want to ask questions, please head on over there and we'll get them answered.
Absolutely. For my partner, Tara Henry, I'm Gray Robertson. This has been Good Morning Softball America, presented by our friends at GoRout. Happy opening weekend. We did it. We're back. Thanks for joining us. I'm excited. We'll see you next time on Good Morning Softball America.